You came out like a bat out of fucking hell, motherfucker.
Say it again.
You came out like a bat out of fucking hell, motherfucker.
Say it again.
Like a bat out of fucking hell, motherfucker.
Say it again.
Like a bat out of fucking hell, motherfucker. Why are you so combative? Why are you so combative?
But he came out like a bat out of hell yelling at me instead of... But he came out like a bat out of hell yelling at me instead of... He came out like a bat out of hell. And bat out of fucking hell. Like a bat out of hell. Hey, but he came out like a bat out of hell. He came out like a bat out of hell yelling at me instead of being nice and saying...
Like a bat out of fucking hell, motherfucker.
He came out like a bat out of hell yelling at me instead of being nice and...
Scared you, motherfucker. Walk away. Go ahead.
Damn.
Don't fucking yell at me, motherfucker. Walk away, motherfucker. Walk away. Trust me. I don't need you either, motherfucker, but don't ever approach me that motherfucking way.
Don't worry about
Don't fucking approach me. No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to My Philippines Interest, the true, the original My Philippines Interest. I'm here because you're there. And no, I don't have rust-colored orange hair. Unlike someone who copycats this channel, this is the real, the true, the original My Philippines Interest. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. And for those foreigners that are living abroad that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a nice day, whether you celebrated it or not. So I included that video at the beginning there because there are some new subscribers who aren't quite sure what exactly happened, what exactly took place, what's all this about. So I'm going to share the story for those that do not know. The very angry person that kept saying, bat out of hell, and then had the pooper scooper with poop on it, no less. Okay. Let's go back a little bit. He was at home, his brother's house, and he lives and sleeps in a closet, and he shares the closet floor with his brother's dog. And some who troll his useless channel said that this time together with the dog involved a jar of peanut butter. That's true, I don't know, but kind of sick if you think about it. But then again, this person is a very sick individual. He has said many disturbing things. He has done many disturbing things that involved even children. It has been documented on video. And even to this day, this person still finds nothing wrong with what he did. But he sang a song about a man's penis to a child. And live streamed it. And when people started to talk about this, he said, oh, maybe I used bad judgment. That was his... You think? You think? You think that was a bad judgment, a bad decision, a bad choice? Do you think? I mean, for me, maybe I think bad judgment, bad choice would be speeding through a yellow light just before it turns red. That's a mistake. That's bad judgment. What you did, my friend, idiotic. Doesn't take much common sense to know that you shouldn't do such things. Okay, so back to the closet, back to the peanut butter, back to the dog. I believe the dog's name is Rowdy. Rowdy, okay? I think. Rowdy, a bruiser, Rowdy. But apparently, after playtime in the closet with Rowdy, Rowdy was feeling a little loose in the caboose. I wonder why, but Rowdy was feeling a little loose in the caboose and had to go make a poop. So this individual who's screaming "Bat out of hell, bat out of hell," took the dog for a walk, and because he is an inconsiderate person and doesn't respect anybody or anything, he just allowed his dog to poop on somebody's lawn, somebody's grass, somebody's property. And is it that big of a deal? Well, to some people it is, but this person again doesn't have any respect for anybody. There was a time in the Philippines, he smokes, and he didn't care that there was a no smoking in public. Wherever he was at the time, there was a no smoking sign there, and he stood there and lit up a cigarette. That was on video as well, and talked about how he should be able to smoke if he wants to. But back to Rowdy with the loose caboose. Rowdy took a big old steamy dump on somebody's property, and the owner of the property came out and wasn't very happy about it. And maybe he was very irate about it and started screaming at this fragile little man, because this fragile little creepy man didn't pick up the poop when the irate neighbor came out and said, "Hey, pick up that steamy dump there." No, he didn't. He didn't pick it up. He ran home, well, walked home. He can't run because he's got these breathing issues. He's a very unhealthy man. Not because of his age, it's just the way that he lives his life. He doesn't get out much, doesn't do anything much. He can't walk 5 feet without sounding like he's going to fall over. So, and again, if you're taking your dog for a walk because its bunghole is all loosened up and stretched out from playtime, you would think that you would be prepared with a pooper scooper and a baggie, you know. But then again, since this individual had to leave the Philippines because he could no longer afford to stay there and things were getting kind of tight, unlike his living partner, he wasn't prepared. And you would think that you walk your dog, you're prepared for these things. But again, since he returned back to Hawaii, things went to hell in the neighborhood. Things went to hell in the neighborhood really fast. But that's a whole other story. So Rowdy's taking a steamer. The man comes out, says, "Hey, pick up your dog crap." The little fragile orange man, creep, ran home to get his brother. He had to wake him up because apparently the brother has some alcohol issues, drug problems, and that doesn't make this person a bad person, but he may have been like in a semi-coma. So because the little fragile man is afraid of real confrontation with other people, because things may get physical and he's not capable of handling things that way, he hurried home and got his brother out of a drunken stupor apparently, and he doesn't, and the big fella, he doesn't know what the hell is going on. He just jumps in the truck with the orange little creep, who now grabs a pooper scooper and a baggie, I hope, unless he put it in his pocket. Anyway, so they jump in the truck, and Big Al is possibly driving intoxicated. And so they arrive at the destination, and now the little fella's feeling brave because he has his big brother with him. So during this drive that he's in and arriving at the location, this man came out irate, screaming like a bat out of hell. And then they approach this, he seemed like a very gentle person that's in control of himself. And this orange, creepy little fella said, now because he's feeling brave, said, excuse me, do you have to be combative over dog bleep bleep? And the man's just listening, and the orange, creepy fella says, you should approach this in a different way. There's other ways of approaching it. And this kind, gentle man who was just, didn't want dog poop on his property said, well, maybe a better approach would be not to let your dog poop on someone else's property. And now again, because now the orange man is feeling brave, started screaming and yelling, bat out of hell, pointing pooper scooper with fresh poop still attached to it. And I guess he did say, I came to rectify the situation. So I'm wondering, there's fresh poop on the scooper, and he's pointing it in a very aggressive way. What did he do with the poop? Did he put it in his pocket? Because he's got his phone and his camera in his other hand, and if he had the bag of poop in the left hand and is pointing, the poop's in the left hand, the camera's in the left hand, the pooper scooper's in the right hand. Does that mean, because he's holding the camera near his face, does that mean the poop is near his face? Maybe. So that's what this video was all about, and just disrespecting other people's property, and But then again, since this person has no respect for anything, anybody. More backstory is, this person arrived in the Philippines a few years ago, and I subscribed to his channel because I thought it was about, showing things around the Philippines. But no, he tried this thing with trying to raise money for poor people, but in reality, he raised $100 and he gave it to his girlfriend because he felt that other people should support his girlfriend. And as time went on, people soon discovered that this isn't the first time this person has done things like this. He tried to have a fundraiser because he was a very lonely man at one time living in Hawaii. So he wanted to find a partner, because those that know him in real life, they stay far, 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 far away. And as we know now why. Closet sing-alongs, peanut butter, loosen the caboose. Some even say on a Friday night, sits there with a bottle of Wesson corn oil and sings songs like, he ain't messing when he shows up with the Wesson. So people are using their scruples and using good judgment to stay away from him. So he thought, okay, what can I do? Where can I go that people don't know me? And I have a chance at romance. So he tried a little fundraiser to head off over to Brazil. He met somebody online and was sending money, sending money to the person, and things didn't work out. Nobody donated for his chance of romance. So he thought, where else can I go that would be a little bit cheaper, that I could afford a plane ticket to? Because he is very not financially stable. And so he bought a plane ticket and he went over to the Philippines and he tried this fundraiser, and he raised $100 because people thought, yeah, it'd be nice to help poor people. So he gave the $100 to his girlfriend. And he found nothing wrong with that either. And said, well, she's poor. So what he's saying is, you need to support his girlfriend, the person he's in a relationship with. So things didn't work out so well with that either, and he had to return back to back to the States because, again, he's not very good with finances. So he arrives back in Hawaii, and then he told everybody again because he's trying to be one of those people where support my channel financially, and I'll go here and I'll do this and I'll do that, and he was hiding in a tree in Hawaii, telling people that he was in the Philippines, and for the longest time he tried to maintain that lie until he got exposed on it, and then he came up with this big story. Well, I only lied because I was in fear for my life because of my ex-girlfriend. She has very dangerous family members and all this horse crap. So people started to judge him. People started to not say, well, they were criticizing him for being a liar. I shouldn't say criticizing. I should say calling a turd a turd. That's a little bit more accurate, okay? Calling a turd. And he became very angry, started calling people child molesters, people are married to bar girls, people's girlfriends are cockroaches. And during this time, he told everybody that he got married. He got married to the most beautiful woman in the Philippines, from what he was telling people. And because he's not very knowledgeable when it comes to the internet and cameras and photography and video, he's not very knowledgeable, even though he claims to be a photography student, a graduate of photography school or something. He doesn't know how to take pictures without his finger being over the lens. He doesn't know how to make a video without it being upside down. So he thought that if he tells everybody that he was married, that he would have the upper hand on everybody, that he has a little bit more power than they have, that his threats would hold a little bit more doo-doo than anybody else's. And everybody was going to jail, and it all turned out to be nonsense. And then some legal matters came up, and it became exposed that because the idiot showed a legal document that no, he's not married. Then he came on video saying that it was all choreographed. He meant to no, he just got caught in another lie, and he tries to pretend that he's very insulted, that people point out things about this person that he claimed that he was married to, and everybody's just repeating what you told everybody. It's not anything that was made up. I mean, the woman is married, and 13, 14 kids. I don't quite know. Let's just say two handfuls of kids, and she doesn't own anything besides a meat tent, and she was desperate. So she found a sucker, an orange-headed sucker, and she really doesn't care that he sat on YouTube every day. The more he was on YouTube, the more she was able to do things that she really wanted to do. Does that make her a bad person? No. She's just fulfilling her own needs, her desires that she wasn't getting with the person that she was playing house in the meat tent with. But then again, this little orange creepy fella never really spent much time in the meat tent because he was always on YouTube, trolling, stalking, jealous of other people's relationships because maybe other YouTubers or foreigners in the Philippines had more attractive mates, wives, girlfriends, whatever it may be. And this made him very jealous, and he even got caught watching other people's live streams, and he was doing things that not very appropriate, but then again, nobody was surprised. So the girlfriend, because she is married to another person and has 2 handfuls of kids, she didn't care that he was on YouTube. That gave her the freedom to do what she wanted to do. He only needed her for fetching him his cranberry juice and cooking up a Jenny O turkey patty, and on occasions accompanying him to the other island because things were cheaper there. To buy things on this other island were cheaper there, and he needed to save a buck because, yeah, finances were tight with him. And hey, that's normal, but he had some really bad financial problems, so he had to go to the big island to save a few bucks, and he was afraid to go alone. He was afraid to go alone. He was afraid to even, the island that he was staying on was afraid to go out alone in public because somebody might talk to him or he might have to answer a question. And he was just comfortable staying home behind the computer, behind the dirty-ass sock, and that's what he did every day. He never went anywhere, never did anything, didn't know anything about where he was living, and I would never be able to do that. I would never be able to visit another country and just want to stay inside and do nothing. But to each their own. So this person thinks that he's a very knowledgeable person about traveling, living in the Philippines, relationships in the Philippines, and he has no experience, 0 experience. He may have been in the Philippines, and he may have had a servant, that was to betray a live-in partner, girlfriend, something like that. But we all knew what it was. It wasn't real. We knew what she was. But who's going to take advice from this person, really? He tried many times to give relationship advice. When he was married at one time, he beat up a television set because his ex-wife was having extramarital affairs, and she was getting some action from Darnell Peterson, a big African-American fella. And when the divorce happened, he has no relationship with his daughter. And once again, these are his own words, no relationship with his daughter. He's never met his grandchildren. And those are his own words. And now, apparently, supposedly, he's making videos now saying that he does, but he keeps it private. But there was a fly on the wall that said that he was very critical of his daughter because of her choice in partners. Again, I think somebody said that the person resembled a member of the Harlem Globetrotters, and hey, there's different taste, different strokes for different folks. Stroke face. Yeah, some people like Asian men and women. Some people like Latinos, Latinas, Italians, Irish, whites. To each their own. But this is a very hateful person, and anyway, it's been a while. It's been a while since John Manley, twin brother to Harry Dick from Passport TV, has done an upload, and just wanted to share some background information on one of the characters that we advise people to stay away from should you ever encounter in the Philippines. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it back to the Philippines. He's holding out on a decision because he's hoping to come into some money. Last time he was in the Philippines, he couldn't afford the payment to his servant, who he was trying to say was his girlfriend, wife, and she even was on video. We have quite a bit of video on that where she says that she has to get money from her children because she has no savings and her partner can't afford to take care of her. So she has to get money from her young children. Children that live in the Philippines that are working, children who are not allowed at the house that the orange little creepy man was staying in. What a sad way to live life. Lonely, very angry, very hateful. And again, for those out there, this is the one, the true, the original My Philippines Interest. There is a copycat out there, and you'll know right away that it is a copycat. He has no knowledge of anything, and you'll know because supposedly he's on some medication by his own, he admitted this on a live stream that he takes Xanax, I believe. I could be wrong, but I thought it was Xanax. I don't know. I don't need anything like that in my life. I'm a man. I handle problems. So he supposedly on a prescription, and you'll know because sometimes he starts to believe that he's a character from the TV show Seinfeld. The TV show Seinfeld. He thinks he's a Seinfeld character, and he likes to throw in a little Seinfeld every now and then when medication takes effect. But anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to do more uploading, possibly some live streaming here on the one, the only, the true, the original My Philippines Interest. I'm here because you're there, and once again, folks, I don't have orange ass hairs.